Ooh, I'm hungry. Let's learn to make some breakfast. Follow me. Now, the best breakfast I love to make is pancakes with scrambled eggs. So, let's see if we have the necessary supplies. Perfect. Step one, make sure you got some nice pancake mix. Mine is just buttermilk because it's just delicious. We put some maple syrup on top, ties it all together. Step two, we need some eggs. So go over to your fridge and just make sure that you have them. Now, ooh, we have some milk. Perfect. Oh, we got some eggs in here. All right, we're ready to get cooking. So next, we have to make sure that we have the proper supplies to do so. You usually need a heated surface such as a stove. We're using a skillet today just because we're in the college dorms. Make sure you have something to mix everything with so you can get your eggs scrambled and you can make sure that the pancake mix is put in with the milk and such. So we have our milk or water. We have oil to make sure that we coat this nicely, and or you can use butter. And what you want to do is make sure you stir all the ingredients in nicely. Pause it.
Go. Hey, what you doing?
Oh, I'm making pancakes for breakfast.
Can I have some too?
Absolutely. I've
Yay.
actually got all the materials here we need, so such as our milk, eggs, and mix. And we have our mixing bowl with a whisk and our hot surface. So let's get cooking.
Let's.
So what I'm doing is just taking some butter for the next step. Now we just add a little bit of butter, just not too much, just a slice, so we can make sure it's a non-sticking surface so our pancakes come off nicely.
I think that's a really great idea.
So,
And next, we take our cup, our measuring cup, that's what this looks like, and we pour a little bit, well, really a full cup of our mix in. Careful not to spill, but it's okay if you get a little bit extra. We're gonna even off the surface.
cooking's meant to be messy. Next, if you ever have to, just reread your directions. You want to make sure you make it right and not twice.
So we've added 1 cup of mix into our mixing bowl. And what is the next step?
Well, it says the ingredients. Just need the pancake mix and milk. So perfect. We're going to stir it all in together nicely until it's nice and not lumpy but smooth. So when we pour it, it's just going to be a flat pancake.
That sounds great. And does the instructions say how much milk?
Actually, just 1 cup of milk is all we need.
Okay, let me use our mixing measuring cup.
And let's make sure that it's all the way to the top so they're not too dry.
So here we have the milk.
Perfect. Now we're adding milk and we're just going to stir it in really nicely with our whisk. You can also mix it in with a fork if you don't happen to have this utensil. Making sure she stirs it in nicely so there's no lumps and it's nice and smooth. And if you find it to be too milky or watery, you can actually add more mix in.
Would you say that this is a good consistency?
Perfect. One way to actually test is you can take a spoon or something and actually kind of taste it to see if it runs off the spoon or it sticks together.
Would you like to do the taste testing?
Absolutely. So, we'll actually just take a nice clean spoon and put it right in here. And you can see that it's nice and chunky falling right off the spoon, so it's not running off like water. Not quite a pancake yet, but close. Now, with this nice and smooth and not too watery, we're just gonna...
So here we've created our pancake mix complete with the milk, and we're improvising with a 1/4 cup for our measuring cup. We're gonna use that to put it on the skillet. So as you see, it's a nice consistency here. It's ready to be a pancake and not liquid. So we're going to put it, hopefully in a circular pattern, on the skillet, like this. It's gonna be a little bit of a chunky boy, but that's okay. So here we are, and we're just gonna let that sit for a little bit. When it starts to get a nice golden tinge on the bottom, that's when we're gonna flip it. So with the pancakes, as you see, as they are cooking, we have it on a pretty high temperature right now. The bottom is starting to get a nice golden brown, and you can kind of see the bubbles forming. So it's almost time to flip them so the outer surface is able to cook. So we're gonna take the spatula this time, and we're just gonna kind of feed it under. Oh, I don't think that he's quite ready yet. So we're gonna let him sit for a little bit more. And we have the bubbles forming there. And a nice little bubble formed there, you see? Awesome. Okay, we're gonna flip it now. So I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm gonna. She's not ready. So we're gonna not do that yet. So here we go. We're gonna flip the pancake. Yes! And so you see how the outer coating is cooking now, and how that formed a nice little tan there. Yay, we're making pancakes. Okay, let's flip the rest of them now. So here we go. Oh, that one's getting burnt.
That
Okay.
one's good. No, that,
Yeah, we're good.
that one's good.
Oh.
so good.
She's kind of forming on top of the other, so we're gonna move that. So we'll press it down a little bit. So we have a nice fluffy little pancake there. This one's kind of burnt, but that's okay, because when you're cooking, it's okay to make mistakes, as I've learned many a time tonight. But yeah, they're forming nice and neatly. And in our next segment, Bernie is gonna take us through how to make scrambled eggs.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Oh, I made pancakes for breakfast.
You can't just have pancakes for breakfast, you need eggs too.
Ooh, but I don't know how to make eggs.
I'll teach you.
Perfect.
Okay, first you have to just go into your cupboard and find a little bowl to mix your eggs in because we're making scrambled eggs.
Ooh, yummy.
Then you take a fork, and this is a compostable fork, and you come over to your table, and you have to have a clear-ish working surface to work on, and you take an egg, and cracking an egg is really an art form, and in here there aren't really any sharp edges to crack an egg on, so we're going to have to crack it on this. So I'm just going to crack the egg now. And pour it in there. And you want to make sure there are no shells. And then you can just compost your eggshells. And are we making 1 or 2 eggs?
I think we should make 2 eggs.
Okay, then we'll crack another egg.
Perfect, no shells.
And then to make the scrambled eggs fluffy, the secret is to add a tiny little bit of milk. But you don't want to add too much because that's bad. So just a little bit. And then you can take your fork and kind of just scramble. And now you want to take some butter because you have to butter your pan. You want to take your knife, cut the butter. Oh shit. Careful not to cut yourself. Put the butter on the pan. And spread it around, and that was the ice machine. And then put your knife down so you don't cut yourself like that. And then you're gonna pour the eggs. And since this is a griddle, the eggs are actually gonna go down into that thing, which is gonna be really obnoxious, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna work through it. Yep. And then you can compost those. And with scrambled eggs, you don't want it to really cook too fast, so you want to scramble it around on the pan. So it looks like that.
How do you know when scrambled eggs are done?
When they don't look shiny anymore. Yeah, and you just keep doing this until they are not super shiny. Because you don't want to consume raw eggs, because you could get salmonella.
A very bad bacteria.
And they look just about done. So I'm
Perfect.
gonna.
Let's complete this plate.
Whew. And that's how you make breakfast.